I thought you told me that you were a virgin.
There was this one girl at college, but the whole thing was so tragically lesbian that I didn't think it counted.
Wow.
This movie character is a trans woman, so no, he's not a lesbian and can never be. Also, the claim that lesbian sex isn't real sex is homophobic, though I would hardly expect morality from a trans woman. After all, trans activists are constantly telling gays and lesbians to transition into the opposite gender and become straight. By the way, this is a picture of the said quote-unquote lesbian relationship. Is that facial hair? This clip is from the movie Transamerica. It was distributed by Harvey Weinstein's company, as well as AMC Networks. It was only the third ever film distributed by Weinstein's company, which is worth mentioning because he distributed well over 100 movies. This means that Harvey Weinstein must have believed in this movie a lot and resonated with it. Transamerica was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress. The trans woman in the movie is played by a biological woman, Felicity Huffman. Although she didn't win the Oscar, she did win the Golden Globe for Best Actress for her role in this movie.
I want to thank Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein for backing the movie, for working for Dawn Till Dusk and championing small films.
Additionally, the film was nominated for an Oscar, a Golden Globe, and a Grammy for Best Original Song in a Movie. The song nominated was written specifically for this movie by Dolly Parton. Before I analyze this movie, a quick introduction. My name is Mariana, and on my channel I dissect film, television, and video games from a radical feminist perspective. So if this interests you, please consider subscribing. And a quick disclaimer. This movie does not advocate for harassment, violence, nor participation in hate groups of any kind. And a spoiler warning. Not that you would ever want to watch this movie. Also, just an additional warning. This movie deals with topics of child sexual abuse. And in general, this movie is disgusting. I'll keep any mentions of these topics as brief as possible, but be warned. To maximize my transphobia, I will use the pronouns she, her to refer to the biological female actress who plays the trans woman, but I will refer to the trans woman character in the movie as he, him. The film begins with Stanley, a trans woman, putting on makeup and pink clothing. He is pretty desperately trying to conform to beauty standards, like the empowered feminist woman he apparently is. Soon after, he gets a call. Stanley learns that he has a son. He hangs up and pretends the call never happened. Stanley goes to his therapist, who has just given psychiatric approval for Stanley's bottom surgery. Stanley mentions the phone call from earlier and says that he had sex with a woman years ago. He claims that this relationship was lesbian. When the therapist hears about this, she takes back her approval of the bottom surgery and tells Stanley that he must resolve things with his son before she will allow him to undergo surgery. Stanley is upset about this and makes more irresponsible remarks about not caring about his son.
Why didn't you get in touch with the mother?
She's dead. Anyway, he's practically 18. He's old enough to take care of himself.
This is a part of your body that cannot be discarded. I don't want you to go through this metamorphosis only to find out you're still incomplete.
What if I visit him later?
Very selfish that he cares more about his own surgery than his son. Stanley reluctantly travels to a New York City prison, where his son is located. His son, Toby, is 17 years old. He is a gay prostitute. This is obviously very messed up that the film made the son underage. Stanley tells Toby that he's a Christian missionary sent to help him, and Stanley does not reveal that he is trans or that he is Toby's father. Stanley's refusal to admit that he is Toby's father is proof of his unwillingness to take responsibility for his own offspring, a very male-natured trait. Toby tells Stanley that although his mother is dead, Toby has a stepfather. When Stanley hears this, he decides to take Toby to his stepfather. This way, Stanley can claim to his therapist that the situation is resolved. Stanley plans to drive back to his home in Los Angeles to get bottom surgery, and to drop off Toby at his stepfather's place on the way. They go on a road trip, and Stanley learns more about Toby and they become friends. The film contrasts Stanley's reserved demeanor with Toby's unruly attitude. Toby does not want to reunite with his stepfather, but Stanley brings him to his stepfather's town anyways, and creates a surprise reunion. During the reunion, Toby's stepfather immediately begins physically and verbally abusing Toby. Stanley quickly learns that Toby was sexually abused by his stepfather, and that's why Toby didn't want to reunite with his stepfather. Toby is angry at Stanley for enabling the reunion. Stanley apologizes to Toby, and they continue on their road trip. Toby wants to go to LA because he plans to become a porn star there. During this part of the movie, we see scenes of Stanley and Toby camping together and gifting each other hats. They stay at the house of a trans woman who is a friend of Stanley's. Stanley was told that said trans woman was not publicly out about being trans, and Stanley is upset to find out that the trans woman is hosting a trans party at the house. The various trans women at the party are very inappropriate around Toby in general, and one of them shows him a vaginal dilator. Reminder, Toby is underage.
It was one of those instant best friend things.
But at the time we were both straight men. What could you do with that?
We had our surgery on the same day.
We ended up holding hands in the recovery.
And now this gorgeous creature is the love of my life.
Barf. Anyways, I had to see this, so now you do too.
Well, that poor thing couldn't pass on a dark night at 200 yards. In the pink?
You better check your T-Dar, honey. She's a GG.
What?
A genuine girl.
In this scene, the movie also implies that you can't tell the difference between trans women and real women. Sure, and the earth is flat, pigs can fly, and Caitlyn Jenner is a good person. Anyways, back to reality. Trans women are tall men with Adam's apples. If their height and faces don't give it away, their deep voices do. Women have evolved to be able to spot men with accuracy. This is for safety reasons. It helps us survive. Why do trans activists want to take away women's abilities to tell which humans are more likely to be dangerous? Not that they could, but still food for thought. Later, Stanley calls the other trans women fake women. He thinks that because his personality is outwardly more reserved in comparison, he's better than them.
Listen, I'm sorry about those airsats women.
What?
Airsats, it means phony. Something pretending to be something it's not.
Has this guy ever gone more than a minute without lying? He's clearly just as bad, if not worse, since he's lying about his perverted autogynephile nature. Like, what's worse? A wolf in sheep's clothing who completely lies to everyone about being a wolf? A wolf in sheep's clothing who is only partially truthful to everyone about being a wolf? Or just a normal wolf? When Stanley and Toby return to the road, Toby finds out that Stanley is trans when Stanley stops the car to take a bathroom break. Toby is angry that Stanley kept the truth from him. They talk more about transgenderism, and this line is said.
So you're cutting your dick off for Jesus?
You don't cut it off. Just gonna have an innie instead of an outie.
Ew.
Also, Stanley says this narcissistic line.
Societies throughout history have honored and revered transgendered people.
Stanley and Toby allow a stranger to ride in the car, and they stop for a swim. In general, the entire movie sexualizes Toby so many times, it's incredibly creepy. The stranger steals the car with all their belongings and money, and as a result, soon after, there's a prostitution scene of Toby with a creepy pedophile. Toby prostituting himself was completely unnecessary though, because some guy with a cowboy hat hits on Stanley in a bar and gives Stanley and Toby a ride to Stanley's childhood home. During the ride, the cowboy hat guy flirts with Stanley, pushing the delusional narrative that trans women are somehow attractive to straight men and look no different from real women.
You know she's a Jesus freak? She's probably waiting to convert you.
She can convert me anytime she wants to.
When Stanley and Toby arrive at Stanley's childhood home, Stanley and his family do not get along.
I don't know why you have to be so emotional.
I am not emotional!
God, my cycle's all out of whack.
You don't have cycles.
Hormones are hormones. Yours and mine just happen to come in little purple pills.
Although his mother is hilariously based in this scene, she's overall a bad parent, as is Stanley's father. When Toby is not in the room, Stanley tells his parents that Toby is their grandson. When the parents hear this, they coddle Toby, giving him everything he wants. They offer to take Toby in and raise him, but because Stanley dislikes his parents so much, he tells Toby that he will take care of him instead. And in a nauseating scene I won't show, Toby confesses that he has fallen in love with Stanley. Stanley reveals that he is Toby's father. Horrified, Toby leaves angrily. After this, Stanley's therapist, for whatever demented reason, approves his bottom surgery. Stanley returns to his normal life in Los Angeles. Toby becomes a porn star and eventually visits Stanley. Toby gives Stanley an advertisement for his new porn movie. Toby says that he can get Stanley a discount when the porn movie comes out. Stanley claims that he wants to become a teacher.
I'm gonna finish up my degree. I thought I'd take up teaching.
And the movie ends. This movie was written by pedophiles, distributed by Harvey Weinstein, and endorsed by Hollywood. The writer and director, Duncan Tucker, should be in jail. Harvey Weinstein's company distributed the movie, but the company that made the movie is called Belladonna Productions. The Belladonna Productions website says that the company also made a movie called LIE in 2001. According to the Wikipedia page of the movie shows, I cannot believe I even have to say this phrase, an incestuous relationship between minors. These producers of LIE were also the producers for Transamerica. Their names are Linda Morin and Renee Bastian. I do not understand how this is legal or why no one has talked about this before. Why was this not mentioned back when Harvey Weinstein was being arrested for assaulting women? Feminists should have brought this up and criticized these filmmakers during the Me Too movement as well. But when I searched up the names of Linda Morin and Renee Bastian, these are their IMDb pages. These pages show that they are both still making films, which is crazy. As you can see, the dates are very recent. I would like radical feminism to become mainstream enough so that we can make sure that these people are held accountable. Liberal feminists do not have the backbone to call these creeps out because they are afraid of being transphobic. Radical feminists have no such fear. We see trans women's perversions as what they are, male perversions. Remember the names of the creators of these transgender movies so that when, emphasis on when, radical feminism replaces liberal feminism, we can take away any credibility they have left, ensuring Hollywood never hires them again. Unlike liberal feminists who spend all their time coping, I will say that yes, this movie is representative of the male-to-female transgender movement as a whole. Any cross-dressing man who thinks that he can enter women's private spaces is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Women used to understand this. Now they are gaslit into trusting deviant men. The sooner everyone comes to terms with the inherently perverted nature of male-to-female transgenderism, the safer women and children will be. Before I end this video, I want to mention that I recently made a radical feminist section on my Discord server. I've noticed that there is a lack of community, specifically for radfem video gamers, so I'm making one. Here, you'll be able to find like-minded women to game with and discuss politics as well. Though even if you're not into video games, you're still welcome. To join, you first need to make a Discord account. Then, click on the Discord link in the description below the video. Click Accept Invite. Verify your phone number near the bottom of the screen. Then click the Verify channel and unlock the server. Once you do that, scroll down to the How to Join channel of the Feminist Hangout section and follow the instructions. This section will be women only, and we will have a verification process similar to other radfem Discord servers. My YouTube channel is still pretty small, so the server might be dead for the first couple of weeks, but hopefully after a while, enough people will join the server for it to be active. Happy gaming, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.